Sunday, all. How is everyone? You had a great weekend. This is Darlene. In case you haven't been here before, a very warm welcome. I'm going to do a week ahead check-in, just to see what's going on out there and what we can expect. But first, let me pull myself up here on the chat so I can see your messages. 1 second, and then I'll get us some cards and we'll get going on this. We will get going. Okay, there's that. And let me pin this in the chat because I always forget to do that. Not always, but most of the time, to be honest. Okay. Ta-da! Good, all that's done. Yay! Now, how is everybody doing with Mercury retrograde? And Venus is in Scorpio. And what else? There's another one. I've forgotten what the other one is, but I don't know. As a Scorpio, this has actually been kind of a smooth month, I have to say. Knock on wood. Yeah, it's been a little bit smoother because it's been kind of rough for us Scorpios lately. I'm just saying. But I'm happy to say, knock on wood, like I said. It seems to be a little smoother, a little quieter. And just, of course, now that I've said that, it's like if you want it to rain, you go wash your car. Now that I've said that. Oh, goodness, no telling what we'll get. Do you know that deck doesn't feel right? Let me go with this one. All right. Now, I can't decide what glasses are going to work for me tonight. Which ones you think? The darker ones or the pinky ones? Both of them have glare, so my apologies for that. Hello, Fab in France. Welcome. And Mr. Lord, welcome in, you guys. Happy Sunday. At least it is here where I am. Sunday evening. How is everybody? I'm not taking that because I didn't ask my question yet. All right. I am going to start tonight I'm doing a tarot reading to see what's coming toward my collective audience, meaning you, for the upcoming week. And most people want to know about romance, so I will ask that. And then if anybody wants a personal reading, it's Monday, in France. I have a very good friend, one of my close friends lives in France, and we Zoom occasionally, and so we always have to get our calendars together and timing, and of course we have daylight savings time here, and it's a thing. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, let me get going here. So what's coming toward my collective audience who will find this video for this coming week, although my readings are timeless, in love and romance? Well, geez, that was quick. Do I even want to take all those? I don't think so, but let me see. God, I'm not liking this right off the bat. So some of you are done waiting. If you've been waiting on somebody, you're done. You're saying, nope, I'm over it. I'm just not having it. I'm done waiting. You're also saying, hey, Alpha, I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you very much for asking. But some of you are saying, yeah, I don't want to wait anymore. But yet I'm a little afraid of making a choice and stepping out there and moving on from whatever this thing is here. I think for many of you, You are feeling either emotionally unavailable. I think that's probably for most of you, or maybe even a bit overly emotional. Now, I can relate to that because we do have, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 planets in water signs this month, and that makes everybody emotional. So I can relate to that. Because you're dealing with some kind of a very difficult heartbreak here over something. Now, this is a love reading, we said. So, all right, let's keep going here. A few more cards. Those want to come out. Yeah, you want balance and harmony. You're tired of this fight, whatever this is. Some of y'all been fighting. You want peace and harmony and balance. You're saying, I have been knocked to my knees. I just, it's kind of like a gut punch. It literally means weakness. Goodness. And I'm speaking in past tense. It's a habit of mine. I'm asking for this upcoming week. So bear that in mind. This as it applies for the upcoming week. So y'all let me know where you're from in the world. I got a bunch of people here, but I'm not hearing from any of you in the chat. And please be sure and hit that like button so it says to YouTube, hey, this lady's all right. Watch her video. Hey, Looker, good evening. From the UK, awesome. I'm a big UK TV person. When I say TV, it means I watch BritBox. I don't even watch American TV anymore. I don't know. I love your humor. I love the mysteries. I love that it's not blood and gore. And how gory can we make it in the US? It's just, I can't even anymore. Anyway, back to your reading. You are exhausted and burned out. So whoever this reading is for, you are just worn out, bless your heart. And you're also taking some time out from this, whatever this heartache. You're saying, I need a time out this week. This is a general reading, a general romance reading for my collective audience, whoever finds this for the upcoming week. Now, I will do personal mini reads, 1-question mini reads. That information is pinned at the top of the chat and also in the description box. I hear ya. Faye saying, yep, I'm exhausted and praying for a break from the universe. Oops. Not going to take that. It didn't jump out like I like it to. You're welcome. You are welcome. So, well, it's not giving me any particulars about this. Hey, Michelle, you are here. Bless your heart. Which is kind of amazing because I know you didn't get any sleep much anyway this weekend. You didn't Friday night. You were up all night doing homework and research. But thank you. Yeah, all right. Well, got a Page of Pentacles here, which can imply some kind of an opportunity or small offer coming your way. I think this is you. Now, it could be somebody coming towards you, but judging by the rest of the cards, this feels like you, collective, that you are being released from some kind of a toxic situation. This can also be limiting beliefs. It can mean addictions. It can mean all kinds of things, dark thoughts, attachments. But it has to do with a home situation or a conflict with others, or feeling a lack of support, a breakdown. This to me, yeah, for some people, for some of you, you could say this is the soulmate twin flame card, but normally it means something to do with home and family. So, I mean, literally, this for some of you could be a breakup of a relationship. And sadly, this is in the upright, which means it's happening now. It's not in the past. Mary, you're a Scorpio too. So, how are you feeling with this, all this stuff in the planets we got going on? It's been a smoother month for me, as I was saying, but I know my emotions have been a little bit around the block, but I'm feeling pretty good. Knock on wood, I'm going to say it again, considering all things. Oops. Okay, so I think for many of you, you're finding acceptance about whatever this is this week. You're digging deep, you're finding acceptance. Even though this is something that disappointed you, you're pulling back from it, which gives you the opportunity to sort of check in and ask, where are you in alignment with all of this, really? Yeah, and now we've got the hangman again. Stalling, indecision, fear of sacrifice, fear of surrender is what this can mean. Fear of surrender. Well, thank you, Luker. Thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate you. That's very sweet. Thank you. My gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I know this is kind of tricky here. Oh, I know. And we have a new moon coming up in Scorpio. For those of you who are Scorpios, we have a new moon coming up. It's either the 20th or the 21st. Anybody in the chat know? Can you let me know that? Now, I see like 3 times more of you here in the chat than I have likes. So let's take care of that, please. Thank you. I think I'm feeling a little silly tonight. What else can you tell me for my collective goodness? Well, let's see. For some of you, it's just reiterating that whatever this was for you, you're saying, I'm not going to put one more minute of time and effort into that. You may be feeling uninspired and even, what's the word, misdirected a bit. Like, I feel like I have put my time and energy and work in the wrong place where this relationship has been concerned. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Now we know new moons are times when we want to start new things. So we had the full moon. Maybe this is just residual energy from you letting go of something. And now we have the new moon where we want to create something new. Thank you, Michelle. I don't know what all that was, but I appreciate you. Okay. I think I will switch now. We know what's going on. Let's ask advice. And I'm going to get a different deck. Move my cards up here. Yep, things are coming to the light. Things are coming to the light. What deck, please, for advice? Oh, I am seeing, where is it? Okay. Please give my collective some advice about how to proceed this week, well, and forward, regarding this something that's hurting, that they're hurting over this week. Please and thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. What is going on for my collective? That's the Three of Swords again. That's not advice. Come on. Hey, Nicole. Good evening. Yes, he does, Legend. Yes, he does. Well, clearly I have the right deck. Let's see what it wants to tell us here. Give me some advice or encouragement or inspiration, please, for my collective audience here. Basically, so far, it's saying, it's acknowledging that you're in this pain, which, some people, sometimes we just want to ignore it like it doesn't exist. Well, if I ignore it, pretend it doesn't exist, it'll just go away, and that's not how it works. So it feels like Spirit's saying, just accept it. Where is it? Just accept it. This is where you are right now. Most human beings find themselves in that spot once in a while in a lifetime. And also know that you just don't have clarity right now. Maybe you just can't see past the hurt. So again, kind of sitting where you are, just sitting there being where you are, being in it. Yeah, until you can find balance, until you can find a situation, or even in your own life and with your own emotions, until you can find balance where you feel that you can give to yourself and others, maybe equally. But this feels much more personal to me. Like it's saying, until you can find balance. So this is like I'm seeing the frog in the pot. If you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Well, this deck is not very talkative. It's usually slow, this deck. It's beautiful, beautiful artwork, though. My goodness. But it's a little slow, and I like to take flyers. So bear with me. I'm a little slow on the shuffle. Yes, ma'am. My birthday was this past Tuesday. Okay, that probably means I need to turn the deck over. What other advice, please, can you give for my Scorpios? Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. So we have the King of Cups from two different decks in the reverse. That's significant. That's very significant. Sometimes the King of Cups, besides being obviously having to do with this Three of Swords, it can be you're feeling cold and as I mentioned, emotionally unavailable, but it can also be a sense that you maybe feel emotionally manipulated. You're feeling moody, yes, but it's an indication you should give yourself some self-compassion. You should love on yourself. You should fill your own cup this week. Don't look to anyone or any situation or anything outside of you this week for your happiness. Look to yourself. Only you can really make yourself happy. Nobody outside of us, no thing, no person makes us feel that. And take some time out. This is the Hermit. It's saying just back up, maybe take a day off or take a week off or whatever you can do. Now, I'm not saying be a recluse necessarily, but if that's what you need to do, find some alone time. to just sit in your feelings here. This is saying you're going to very likely have an emotional week, remembering that Mercury is in retrograde, that even if this is not a new heartache, because it's possible it's not, because I don't really have characters here that would indicate that, but what it could very well mean is that something that happened in the past, that heartache is being brought up for you to heal it. It's being revisited and brought back around, so to speak, by Mercury, so that you can give it more attention in terms of healing it and letting it go and filling your own cup. In other words, not letting this Three of Swords define you in any way, not letting it tell you, for example, what your worth is or how attractive you are, how lovable you are, any of that. No one or no thing outside of us tells us that. We're the ones that determine our value and our worth in the world. And so Spirit is saying, you're the only one that can create balance. You're the only one that can fill your cup. So take time out this week. The hermit goes into the cave. See this light, that lantern? He's looking for insight. He's looking for inspiration from the divine, from source. And that's why he goes into the cave, to reflect, to get right with his emotions. To get right with his emotions. Hey, Derek, good evening. How are you tonight, sweetie? Yeah, that seems to be because right now Spirit is saying you're not in a place to collaborate with anyone, whether that's romantically or maybe even at all, but romantically, because you've been at this crossroads. It's like you're stuck, and I'm going to say it's an emotional crossroads, because having these two times, we've got the Three of Swords here, I feel like this is very much an emotional crossroads. It's an opportunity for you to look at I think this is an old wound, but for some of you it might be happening this week, to turn this wheel of fortune. Again, I'm just feeling a lot of, and I've never felt this off this card, a lot of love and emotional energy around this wheel of fortune. This is not just about money. It's about literally fortune. If we feel love in our lives, that's the best fortune you can find, right? And here again, we've got, where is it? Yep. And you're turning this Five of Wands in the upright into the reverse, which means no more conflict, no more competition, no more giving my energy to things, whether that's mental or physical, emotional, whatever kind of energy. Instead, I'm going to liberate myself. This is the Nine of Pentacles. This is someone who's liberated, who's very self-sufficient, who can take care of themselves, who knows their self-worth. This is the minor arcana version of the Empress. And Spirit says that's what you need to do right now. That's where your strength is going to lie, is in you, again, filling your cup here and not looking to anyone or anything outside of you. Knowing your own self-worth. Yep. Excuse me. The strength to look at your dark side this week is what I'm feeling from this, because the moon represents fears and secrets and things that are unseen. And you're going to be moving on to calmer waters after you do that this week. But it's like it's coming up for review. That's the message. That's the summation of this reading. Whatever this was or is for each of you individually, it's coming back up for review this week. Again, you don't have to go through it or experience it again necessarily, but those feelings come up if it's not healed within you. And that's what I think is going on here. For a few of you, this has to do with having feelings, negative feelings. I won't need to name them, but for some of you, it's a bit of, I'm getting a kind of a special, it's how I feel things, my clairs, one of my clairs. It's like the feeling of revenge, coldness, wanting to say things but not toward someone. This, in this case, there's no gender in tarot, but there's a queen and a king here, so toward this King of Wands in reverse. So for some of you, this is focused toward a specific person, somebody that you might have been waiting for to show up in your life who hasn't come. And you're going to try to spend, you need to heal from that. There's that Four of Swords again. This time it's in the upright, means you need to step back. You need a little bit more time to work on healing that. Don't make any decisions right now. Yeah. I think this person might have been someone who was in and out of your life. He was not particularly dependable. Can we say it like that? And you're looking at this week. Now, this could be he or she. I'm saying he because that's what was on the card. So many of you this week are taking a look at that and saying, you know, is that really what I want to manifest for the long term? Is that really what I want in my life? No, I don't think you do. I do not think you do. And you're getting clarity about that this week. Wow, that's awesome. So again, the advice is to fill your own cup. Take some time to reflect on this and fill your own cup this week. And by fill your own cup, that means self-care. That means everything from taking time out, taking a day off if you need to, taking time out from people, could be taking time out from scrolling on your device or drinking too much or eating unhealthy or whatever it is that you kind of go to. We all have something we kind of go to for comfort, you know, to comfort ourselves. But it could also be that we surround ourselves by people. I know that's a good avoidant technique. And Spirit's saying, don't do that this week because it's just a distraction and it doesn't contribute to authentic healing. It's just distracts you and kicks that can down the road. What you need to do is really look at the hurt. Look at where you're hurting. Look at how you got here. What is the, how can I word this? What is the false narrative within you that you are putting out into the world that you are attracting someone who would do this to you? That's the question. That's the wound that needs to be healed. It's not about the other person. It's never, ever about the other person. Crochet Queen, I'll come back and check your message there in just a minute, but welcome. Thank you for being here. When we're hurting or things happen, even though people are knuckleheads sometimes and they do things we know they shouldn't do, the truth of it is, it happens to us because it's triggering a wound within us that we need to heal. And so that's the question we need to ask. What wound is it that we have not been able to see clearly within ourselves that we need to find balance for this week, and therefore come back around to self-love, self-compassion, self-empathy. So that's what we need to reflect on this week. Yep, okay. There it is. I think that's it. I don't know what I can add to that. So for some of you, I don't really think this is the majority of you that this is happening this week. I mean, it could be a few of you, but I feel like it's more that the energy of that, whatever that hurt might be coming back up because of Mercury retrograde. So don't run from it. Don't try to avoid it and fill your time with people and things that distract you. Just get on in there and sit with it. Get on in there and be with it. And ask yourself, what could I have done differently? What have I learned from this? What has this taught me? That's really where the gold is, so to speak. Because that way, once you heal that from that perspective, then it won't happen again. That's what we want. That's definitely what we want. Well, thank you, son. I appreciate that. 7 son. Put these on. These help. When I'm reading the chat, these help. I'm glad that resonated. Thank you so much. Well, there it is. There it is, our message for the week. Not the happiest one I've ever delivered, but I think that was some of you really needed to hear that this week. I mean, about reflecting and all of that. So anyway. Okay, now Michelle, thank you so much for you're just the best. You're the best, the best, the best. You really are the best. I don't want to say you're the best of my moderators, but you really are. Because I mean, you're just so on it. I love you to pieces. Did I miss anything over here in the chats that I need to look at, Michelle? Do I need to go back and now, I don't think I've got any readings booked yet. So does anybody have a general question about metaphysics, about spiritual things, esoteric things, just general questions about any of that I could maybe help with? I do not pretend to have all the answers, but I've been around the block a little bit. I didn't get all this gray hair for nothing. Thank you, Michelle. See, you're on top of it. Seven Sun. Ask, is there any mantra or meditation you can recommend at this time? Well, I've been teaching meditation for almost 30 years, and I think the best kind of meditation is one where you completely let go. In other words, and I just spoke about this in my live I did on Friday night. So if that interests you, you might want to go and look at that one. It's quite long, that live, but I think it was the second half where I talked about meditation. Okay, Derek, hang on one second. Meditation is a way that you can, once you're comfortable with it and you kind of get used to sitting and you train your body a little bit and of course train your mind, it's a way that you can retreat from the world on the one hand, and it helps you align with higher frequency. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about that. But I don't use mantras. I don't use candles or music or any of that outside of you, because as I spoke about in the live on Friday night, those things keep you outside of yourself. That's not real deep meditation. Real deep meditation is disconnecting from everything in the physical world and going deeply into yourself. So I have 3 videos on my channel in my playlist called Meditation. And if that interests you, you go in and watch those, and happy meditating, because I think I don't use mantras and those kind of things. Now, that's different than affirmations. I do use affirmations and positive thinking, but that's a different practice than meditation. Looker asked me, can I talk about what memberships include? Well, I've got 2 levels of memberships, and I might have to go look at it to get the specifics. The higher level is where you get which is, I think it's $8.99 a month, if I'm not mistaken. You get career and love readings specifically for the higher membership. You get at least 2 of those a month, 2 of each of those a month. I try to do it every week. I also do a live chat for all my members, but the higher tier memberships get free readings when I go live for my members. Those are the things that most people want. That's kind of the higher requests I have for those, if that helps. How do we get to know what loop we're stuck in? By what's happening in your outside world, by what's happening to you every day in your life. Just that's your mirror. That is your mirror for what's going on. That tells you what you need to work on. Oh goodness, I didn't realize I was that behind. Oh my gosh, let me catch up with this. Okay, I'm not sure about, should you talk meditating to God? Well, I'm not even sure I understand the question, so you might want to rephrase that. Evan says, I have to use mental mantras throughout the day. I can't handle this. I can handle this as my favorite. That's more of an affirmation. That's a little different than a mantra, actually, is my understanding. How do we get to know what part of us needs healing or love? We don't attract the same kind of people in our lives. Again, look at what's happening to you every day in your life. I would pretty much agree with what Evan just said there. Don't. Now, somebody, Derek, didn't you have a question back here? Post your question for me, Derek. If I missed it, my apology. I'm not used to, YouTube's changed the screen, and I'm trying to touch it to scroll, and every time I touch it, what's that word? I can't think of it. Just the slightest bit harder than usual, it scrolls me to the next live. I can't get control of this. I'm trying. I'm working on it. Maybe I need to get one of those special pens. Oh, that's a cool question. What is the most common or frequent card that I draw? Ooh, that is a great question. I don't know if I have the answer for that. Let me see. Let me think on that. Well, I do a lot of love readings because that's what most people want. Probably the pages. It's interesting because they come up a lot. They're page cards, like Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords. Those cards represent communication and messages. Sometimes it means lessons or procrastination. So it kind of really covers a broad spectrum of information in different kinds of readings. So those might be. I really have not done a study on that, but that's a really interesting question. Yeah. Amen, Crochet Queen. I could not have said that better. That's part of what we were talking about Friday night, too. Someone asked me about, they were sharing they were very depressed, and what did I think was a good way to get out of that. So I basically talked about that for, I don't know, 30 minutes or more. But it's not just about depression. It's about a model to live by, which is And I'm guilty of scrolling. I'm not being a hypocrite here, but it is a lifestyle that we get into. It's a habit we get into. So you have to build good habits if you want good outcomes, if you want positive energy in your life. You have to make choices that will manifest that. So if you're sitting, you know, I saw somebody posted a short or something, and it was so timely because it was just what I had been talking about the night before. And then it came up in my feed yesterday. And it was some young woman saying, I'm just not feeling good. I'm feeling kind of down or something like that. And apparently the person off screen was maybe the mother or whatever, or a friend, whatever. And she was saying, well, have you been outside today? Have you drank enough water today? Have you controlled, have you been on your screen scrolling all day? Have you talked to anybody today? Have you taken a walk today? Have you done, have you done anything positive for yourself? So, we can't just sit down in a room, in a dark room, and scroll all day and expect to feel good. It's a real myth that's causing a real epidemic in this country in particular right now. And so, okay, Evan, thanks for the heads up. So it's really, it's a conscious effort living here in our 3D bodies, I think, to keep a positive mindset. And that requires action. It's not just what we're thinking. I talk a lot about that here on my channel about, having positive thoughts and all of that. But it also requires action. We have to make physical actions toward good choices, like get yourself up and go outside. I spent 2-3 hours today watering my plants, and it felt so good to be outside today. And it just was, it just changes it changes your mood, but it changes your energy too. Nature and anything outside, like she was saying, is very healing. It can be grounding and healing all at the same time. So, completely agree. Excuse me. All right, who else has a question? Hey, Bulldog, good evening. Who else has got a general question about stuff, spiritual stuff, esoteric stuff, metaphysical stuff? Ooh, Samish wants to know, or Samina, am I saying that correctly? How can we get to know about our aura? Well, I won't say I know really the answer to that. Um, there are mediums and psychics who specialize in that. I would ask, why do you want to know about your aura? You how you feel, your mood, how your physical body is doing is an indicator of how your aura is. So if you're not feeling well, your aura is going to have either spots, dark spots, or all different, kind of things that can be reflecting in your aura. There's Curlian photography. If you know somebody who can, if you're interested in that, if it's just a curiosity, what your aura looks like, there are people I'm sure you could find online who do that sort of thing. But your aura is a combination. It's layers around the 3D body. It's a combination of your energy body, your not esoteric, ethereal body, your mental body, your emotional body. There are layers around you. And if you're having an imbalance in one of those areas, which most humans do, it's going to show up. Now, that being said, my understanding is the more evolved the human being is, the more open they are, the more conscious and loving they are, the brighter their aura is going to be, the wider physically, like if we can call that physical, your aura is going to be, and it will be healthier. It will shine in different colors. Now, I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know what colors, and I'm not an expert on that by any means. You're saying, I have seen negative people have strong auras. Well, you may be confusing negative energy with an aura. You're using a very specific term there. Yeah, I know lots of people who have negative energy and it feels very strong. Well, I shouldn't say lots of people. I know people. That's not the same as their aura. Now, if you're seeing their aura, you would probably see it. It would be very dark and dense and have splotches in it, I'm going to call them. So again, you're asking that question in a way I wouldn't say that about somebody having a strong aura. They might have a strong presence, they might have a strong energy. That's not the same thing as having a strong aura. Yeah, layers make sense. Okay, good. Good. Hey, Helen. Oh, hi and bye. You're just popping in. I agree, Crochet Queen. She says, I think everybody needs to take 5 minutes a day and start at 5 minutes and just go outside and touch the earth. And I know and meditate. Agree. Agree. Something here is really out of sync with my, I'm going to go over here 1 second. Come back. There, that's better. It was out of sync. Well, good. I hope that helped. Who else has got a general question? Those are good questions. I like those questions. Who else has one about stuff, spiritual stuff, esoteric, metaphysical stuff? I am doing fine, Dog. Good evening. Y'all come on now. I know y'all got questions. Trying to think of something just generic to talk about that y'all might be interested in, but everybody has such different interests. Yeah, 12:22 a.m. That's late. Yeah, that's very late wherever you are. Looker, thank you. You joined our Soul Tribe family. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Looker. Appreciate you. I look forward to connecting with you in the chats too. I should be doing a members only chat this coming week, by the way. Usually try to do that on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Sometimes it's a Thursday, but in the middle of the week. So be on the lookout for that. And be sure you have your notifications turned on. I will post a I will make a post on my channel under post to my community and let y'all know exactly what day that's going to be, but it's usually during the middle of the week. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to the family. All right, guys, if you don't have any more questions, wait a minute, I need to keep this on. Emily, it is possible. Please read the information in my description box. I am a medium. I do have a disclaimer about that. So read the description box. And then if you'd like me to try and connect with him, I'll be happy to do that. Let me see now. What does it mean when I see synchronized numbers? all the time? Well, JMK, it kind of depends on what the numbers are. Now, I'm not an expert on that. I knew a few of them, but I'm by no means an expert. Just do a Google search for spiritual meaning of whatever that number is. Some things mean like you're on the right track. People see 1111 a lot. That's a common one. And it generally means spirit acknowledging you're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. You're in alignment where you're supposed to be. Samina is saying some people saying our spiritual growth is related to the awareness. Some say it's our connection with God. What does it actually mean, and on how one can grow spiritually? Well, I'm not sure I'm going to answer your question exactly as you ask it, Samina, but how you grow spiritually, according to me, this is, and Sea Dog, I'll get your question here in a minute. Your everyday life is your spiritual training ground. It's not about going to temple or synagogue or church on Sunday and learning and somebody stand up there and tell you your lesson for the week. That's helpful. Sure, we can all benefit from that. But that's not what it means to grow spiritually. What it means to grow spiritually, to put it in lay terms, is you have a challenge, it stretches you. You learn about that challenge. You learn how to overcome that within yourself. Again, it's not about somebody else. Within yourself, you have a broadened awareness about it. And therefore, the next time that happens, you'll do something different. That's a very lay explanation of spiritual growth, but that's what it means. And because of that, your vibration changes. The frequency that you as a being vibrates changes every time you learn through everyday lessons. Thank you for whoever's hitting those hearts. I appreciate y'all. Sea Dog, it's not out there at all. I'm all over the place here. You'll learn. I mean, I'm just kind of I'm all over the place in terms of what I can talk about. It doesn't mean I'm an expert on everything. I'm the first one to say that. But let me read your question for people who might not read it later. It says, I have. Okay, now you're not just hitting that heart thing. You're sitting on it. Whoever that is, thank you. You're making me smile. Sea Dog is saying, I have a question. It's a bit out there, though. I've been getting a lot of readings recently about a new awakening and a new shift. I've felt quite disconnected. Is that a good thing? Good night, Derek. There's a couple, let me see. I'm catching up because I'm a little behind on these comments. Jim Cat means if you're connected, spirit and universe trying to connect. That's what I believe in. Okay. Brayla, if you send a gift, can I get money from it? Gifts are not like money, no. All right, y'all, hang on. Let me catch up with this question before you post your other questions. There is a shift going on the planet right now. It's commonly thought of as there's two shifts that are going on. Well, there's always shifts going on, but these two that are affecting people as I see it most right now. One is a polarization. It is kind of like you've got to decide if you're black or white. There's not going to be any more gray. You're either in this camp where you're 100% immersed in the 3D world and you believe that's all that matters, or you're over here in this other camp where you say, hey, I want to learn more. I want to grow spiritually. I want to learn about expansion and growth and consciousness. It's like you're standing like if you can imagine what it looks like when an earthquake is happening and you're standing and you got one foot planted and there's a crevice right between your legs and the crevice is widening and you have to pick a side. So that's something that's happening all over the planet right now. The other thing is the veil between the unknown, the non-physical world and the physical world is thinning. So a lot more people are experiencing things that they've never experienced before. You're becoming more sensitive, is why I said that, because that relates to your comment. You're experiencing things you've never experienced before. You're feeling things you never felt before. You're being able to sense and feel things around other people and in places maybe you go that you've never felt before, and you don't have any frame of reference for that. You don't know what to do with it. It feels different. It feels odd. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just new, because it's time for the human race to evolve. It's as a species. It's time for us to come online, so to speak, and have more spiritual consciousness and let all this other, well, I won't go there. But anyway, those are two very big reasons why a lot of people on the planet right now may be struggling. All right, who put the pumpkin on there? How did you do that? That's funny. That's funny. I guess, was that a pumpkin, or I'm not sure. That was funny. Nancy's saying, why do you think I'm so sensitive when I see people? Well, Nancy, I'm going to say the same answer, because a lot of people are waking up to having abilities that they never realized they had before. It's a human being thing that's happening right now. Sea Dogs, yes, I've been feeling so disconnected. Yes. All right, I'm trying to scroll, and it's, y'all hang on. Let me see if I can get a pen out of my drawer over here that will help this situation. I think I've got one in here somewhere. That one might work. I don't know. Let me try this. Paul, yes, I am open for readings. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. You can do that, or super chat. Sure, Emily. Well, we're just talking. I'm here for mini readings for those who'd like to purchase a mini reading. Also, we just talk about all kinds of things esoteric and spiritual and metaphysical here. So if you have general questions about any of those things, feel free to ask in the chat. You don't understand? Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. Artemisia, am I saying that right? You just know things, right? That's basically what it is. Your intuition. Everybody, every human being, it's part of the gift of being human. It's like when you're human, God gives you a head, and so it's part of that. It's just you have it. Everybody has it. Most people don't realize. It's like animals are given instinct. Humans are given intuition. Except we don't really know how to consciously necessarily connect with it. We have never been shown how to use it or how to cultivate it. And I will say the number one best way, in my opinion, to cultivate and enhance your intuition that most people don't know about is meditation. It is a side effect of meditation that you become more intuitive. Well, thank you, Brayla. I'm not sure what you sent 100 of what. I'm not sure what you sent 100 of, but I'm going to say thank you. And you sent a flower. All I saw was the pumpkin head or whatever that was on my head. I'm not sure what that is. I've never seen that now all my lives before. Let me see. Sea Dog says, what would you find the best way to meditate or mentally, energetically heal? I'm going to refer you back again to Sea Dog. I have a playlist on my channel called Meditation, and there's a series of 3 videos. They're not very long. Please do them in order, part 1, 2, and 3. And that's how I meditate. That's how I was taught to meditate by my teacher. So I highly, highly recommend it. It also helps to balance your energy. They're not different things. They're like this. Meditation is one of the fastest ways to raise your energy. So, highly recommend it. Cherie wants to know, will I ever get over my husband's death? Well, it's a little bit of a choice. I know you hurt, and you'll never stop missing him. I will tell you that. He'll always be a part of you. But it helps if you can see him, because you're looking for him in the wrong place. You're looking for him beside you on the sofa. You're looking for him in your everyday life like a physical person. He's still very much alive. He's just not in the physical. So you have to look for him in the places where you can see him, feel him. So you have to look for him in other things like synchronicities and little signs that he may lead you, and actually have conversations with him. But when you're consistently looking for him in the physical sense, which is where he's not anymore, that's going to linger. Yeah, it's hard to get over that. I'm not saying it's not, but it really is helpful if you can start making the transition in your mind and your heart to say, okay, he's not here, but he's still here. And start connecting with him in that way. Start connecting with him energetically. No, it's not Three Eye Atlas. It's not Three Eye Atlas. Oh, good looker. Thank you. Yeah, do go back and watch those, or go and watch those rather. And again, I'm going to encourage you to watch. I can't remember where it started because I just get on these lives and I go for hours and I don't have a sense of time really. But you might want to look at the live I did. It wasn't just for members, but the live I did on Friday night, because I really did talk about that, about lifestyle and how to get out of depression, which is the same thing as changing your energy and your frequency, and some of the things and choices about that. So you might find that helpful. So the dog is saying, amazing, thank you. I'll give them a try before. Okay, good, good. Usually meditate. Well, I'm going to suggest you not do that, Sea Dog. You don't know what you don't know. And I don't want to open up Pandora's box here, but there are energies in nature that are wonderful and supportive and loving, but they're very distracting. And it's just like if you go outside in nature, I'm not saying it's not healing. I'm not saying don't ever do it. I'm sorry, the conversation Sea Dog was talking about going outside and meditating. I think you'll find a very different experience if you meditate inside. And I would highly recommend you do that for a while first. Because when you go outside and meditate in nature, if you're innocent, you don't know better, you're fine. But it's different because there are a lot of energies in nature that can distract you, it's kind of like they can tap on your shoulder, and it's a very different experience. I'm not saying it's bad. That's another story. Oh no. I'm so sorry to hear that, Artemisia. I can't say your name right. I know I'm not pronouncing it right. Please forgive me. I'm sorry to hear that you're an orphan. Oh, hello from Earth is here. Where have you been? Good to see you. That's an excellent question. I work in the beauty service industry, and I find over the years I've recognized that I take on the energy of people at the end of the day or week. Any advice on resetting myself? Excellent question. These lives I do, I spoke about this Friday night, or even I know how to protect myself, and it's still can be very draining. So when you're around other people, it's really important to have a protection, I'm going to say protection ritual. Now, that's not saying everybody's evil and putting spells on you and don't let your mind go there. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just what you're alluding to, that you talk you talk to people all day long, you're with people. Even if you were in sales, you work in a retail job, something like that. Excuse me, it's draining, whether you intend for it to be or not. I mean, whether they intend it to be, and most people don't. And so I recommend, before you leave the house in the morning, you do a simple protection ritual. You can go online and research this. There's lots of them. They're very simple ones. You can just do something like saying, and depending on who and what you believe in, please God, or thank you God, guardian, my angels, guides, and ancestors for surrounding me. And I say my home because I work out of my home. In a bubble of God's divine love and light, that no negative, harmful, or detrimental energy may affect me in any way. That's just something simple you can say every day, and envision yourself being surrounded in a bubble. That helps. But as far as resetting yourself, simple practical things like Epsom salts bath and meditation, those are very, very good tools for that. Come home, just sit down, even if it's 10-15 minutes, and meditate. Those are helpful. Hey, Jake, good evening. Ink is asking, do I have out-of-body experiences? Is that particularly how you connect to the other side? It's something that spontaneously started happening to me after a car accident. I have had out-of-body experiences. It is not common for me. That is not how I connect with the other side. And it could be, if you've had a car accident, what you're maybe experiencing might be more in the category of, you have a split now. It's like we have all these layers. I'm not talking about just auras here like I was earlier, but there are many levels and pieces and parts that go into making us a human being. And if you have an accident or fast traumatic collision or trauma of some kind, it can separate a piece of you, and that can be like out there. So I have a sense that's more what's going on with you. And first of all, meditate. Start meditating every day. Meditate, meditate, meditate. If you have and if you sleep in a room where there's a mirror, take the mirror out of your bedroom or wherever you sleep. I mean, I might need more time. Yeah, I would need more time to delve into this for you, but those are two things I would do right away, because I think it's no coincidence that started happening to you after a car accident. So I think you've got a split going on here, not I'm not trying to take anything away from you, but I'd have to talk to you more about that in length. So, I mean, you might want to book a private session and we can talk about that if that is something, but those are two things I would recommend. Yeah, a lot of people suffer with ADD and HDD. You can still meditate. It's just a thing. You just have to give it something else to do. That's right. Soul Songster said, best to be solid in your own energy before inviting extraneous energy from outdoors. Amen, amen, amen. And that's, I knew I was opening Pandora's box because there's a whole other discussion, but I didn't feel like it was the right time to go there. So we'll leave that for another day. Sea Dog says, and I know I'm behind y'all, catching up. I'm trying. I didn't know that sometimes I get signs from the universe when I speak, but other times it can feel a bit chaotic. Thank you for the wisdom. You're very welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure. My name is Darlene. Sorry, I do say that at the beginning most of the time, but then, you know, I know people aren't here. My name is Darlene. Cherie, I love that. You're going to celebrate him on Christmas Day. That is the most beautiful thing you could do. I love that. I love that idea. There you go. Now you're thinking positive, and yes. Thank you, Kiwi. You're very welcome. Hello from Earth. Very welcome. Happy birthday to Isla. Good evening. Good evening. Happy birthday. Yep, that's a good protection ritual. Art. Oh, good, Ink. You do hide your mirror. Yes. Hey, Ink, JB, if you're going to book through my website, just send me an email. Don't book it yet. I'm having trouble with my payment system on my website right now. So don't prepay. Just go send me an email and I'll respond. You can read about my private sessions, but I'll send you a different link because it's just not working right now. And I worked on it for 2 hours yesterday and I'm still frustrated. Hey, Melissa, good evening. Well, it's lovely to meet you virtually also, Sea Dog. Thank you for being here. Yes, I am. I'm a Scorpio. All right, am I caught up? I know. I am a true blue Scorpio. I'm a double Scorpio, man. I'm telling you. I am. Those are great questions, guys. What a nice discussion, right? A lively discussion. Yes, Evan, these are mala beads. Yes, I've had them 35 years. Over 35 years. Yes. And they are blessed and they have some really lovely energy in them. You're a Cancer with an Aries ascendant. Yeah, my moon is in Aries. Yeah, I needed that. I needed that fire with all this water. Like God knew what he was doing when he made me. He knew what he was doing, right? Capricorn, Sag, and Aquarius. Well, I'm not sure if you're asking me is being on the cusp important or all the, yeah, I mean, it's not something to live your life by, but it's good to know because those things, each sign comes with its gifts and its challenges. So it's good to know like where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. I am a medium, yes. But I'm only going to do paid readings tonight. And if you want a reading, you need to please go and look at, I'm speaking specifically to Pintroll here. please read the description in the description box, because I always like to tell people, yes, I'm a medium, but if I don't bring through who you're looking to hoping to hear from, that's a different process. This is this versus this. I'm reaching out. Then that's channeling. And yes, I can do that, but I cannot guarantee. So yeah, as long as you know that. I get who they give me. I'm not in charge of that. Any medium worth their salt will tell you, we bring through who Spirit wants us to bring through. Now, most of the time I can connect for you, but it's not guaranteed. Like to be upfront about that. Oh, see, Doug, thanks. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd like that. Yeah. And, I go here on YouTube, usually live twice a week and then every other week for my members. So I can do, oh, thank you, Pentrol. Well, that's basically the only thing, because I find that as a reader, and especially as a medium, I'm managing expectations as much as anything else here sometimes. So as long as you're okay with that. Oh, I was talking to Sea Dog. So I do have a YouTube special rate that's very reasonable for readings. But if you want a private and personal reading, then we'll do that through Zoom. Yes, Looker, on Zoom. I mean, I do them here on my lives, but yes, if you want a personal private one, it would be. Occasionally I do them recorded, but I'd rather do them live on Zoom, Michelle, when I can. I mean, I have, but I don't prefer that. I prefer to do them live, especially if they're mediumship readings. I won't really do those because I want feedback when I'm doing a mediumship reading. It's, I want to ask, if I need you to verify if the information, is this making sense? Are you connecting with this information? So I'm just saying that for everybody who's listening. Oh, I don't believe in coincidence either, Pentrol. I really don't. There's alignment, there's synchronicity, but there's no such thing as coincidence. I totally agree. Yes. Kaosa, is that a statement or a question that you're asking? And that would be, if you're asking how accurate am I, are you asking about mediumship readings or love reading? What exactly? Can you elaborate on that question? See, Dog, I look forward to it. Well, me too. I'll join the last when I can, as the time difference is quite a big gap. Either way, it would be a great experience, I'm sure. Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I look forward to you being part of the family here. We have a good group of regulars, a really good supportive group, because I don't tolerate spamming and stuff over here. We keep it PG-13 most of the time in here. So you are very welcome. Welcome on in. Come on in. You have a very wonderful night, Sea Dog. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the great conversation too. That was wonderful. Oh, Jakey, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, guys, last call for either readings or general spiritual, esoteric, metaphysical questions. Last call. Oh, you're in Sweden. Yeah, it is late over there. Goodness, I am in USA, in the state of Alabama. If you can't tell, I'm Southern with this drawl. I'm a true Southern peach. I actually was born in Georgia. They're known for peaches. You have to be here to understand, but anyway. Evan, I don't know what that word means. You don't have to give me a definition. Thank you, Artie. I appreciate that. You're so sweet. Usha, no, I am not part of the Masons. My father was a Mason. He was a 33-degree Mason, 33rd, however you say that. I still have his sword and his stuff, but no, I'm not. Pretty much women are not, I don't know if this has changed, but women are not Masons. They have a separate order called the Eastern Star for the women. I'm still not sure. The breathless state, and still don't know, Evan. I'm not familiar. Well, Eddie, being Aries and old, hey, so am I. My moon's in Aries. I'm old and I'm still loving life, so it's nothing but a number. Well, you're going to have to give me a longer definition. Even if you spelled it right, I'm not sure I would. Hello from Earth. Good night. Thank you for being here, sweetie. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you can come back next week or whenever. I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Okay, you can Google it already. Thank you for the compliment, Innocent. Thank you. I know that feeling some days. Already say, and I'm shortening your name. I hope you don't mind. I like to give people nicknames that I can remember in the chat. My body's 54, but my ankles are 98. I'm laughing with you. Oh, someday, especially when it turns cold, I have a hard time when it turns cold. My body, it says, we don't really like the cold. Remember? Spider says, hello, you are a medium. Do you know who I am? Is that supposed to be some kind of a silly test? I would have to tune into you, and I'm not going to play that game. If you want a reading, fine, I'll do a reading for you, but that information's in the chat. Thank you, Emily. Well, I appreciate you being here. That's awesome. You have a blessed evening too, Artie. Thank you. Okay, Evan has looked it up. He's Googled it. All right, here we go. Samadhi is a Sanskrit term for the state of deep meditation consciousness, often described as spiritual absorption, enlightenment, or the highest state of consciousness. It is considered the final step. Okay, it is considered the final step in the 8-limbed path of classical yoga and is also a goal in the Buddhist Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, thank you for the explanation. Now, what's the question again? Because I've lost it. Let me go. I'm looking back to see if I can see your question. This pen seems to be working better than my finger here. I'm glad I thought of that. I think it's too far up there. Well, Artie, I prefer PayPal. If you can do that, that would be awesome. Matthew, your finger's still. Oh my God. What are you saying? Are you asking? No, mine are not fake. Okay, time out. Artie, just so we get this straight. I'm thinking you're going to book a reading for a reading right now. If you want a reading now, then you book it to the link. That's only for live. That rate is only for a live mini read right here, right now. Otherwise, you just send me an email and we'll book a personal and private one. If you want to, want to do it here now, then that's the link to use. I guess I should make that more clear. I'm sorry if that's confusing. Well, Evan, that is interesting. Evan is saying apparently samadhi is a breathless state. People in samadhi apparently got buried in the ground for a day to prove it. Do you believe it's real? I don't have an opinion about it. It maybe, what I do believe, I don't know about that. What I believe is that if somebody believes in something strong enough, you make it come true. You're able to manifest it. So if that person believes it strongly enough, then I believe in the power of belief. So if it's scaring you, don't do it. You'll die. I'm not, I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not. Yeah, until you absolutely believe from the bottom of your toes to the top of your head that it's real, then you should not do it, because it would not be a wise thing. Oh, Artie, just send me a quick email. Just that my email is in the description box. Excuse me, sorry. It's Scorpio1111reads@gmail.com, but it's in the description box. Just shoot me a quick, say this, and tell me your YouTube handle when you write to me, because, people's email is different. Just say, this was Artie from that live, and I'd like to book a session with you. That's all and I'll send you the information. Emily's saying, what's a super chat? Yes, you click the dollar symbol, and then there's a little bar, and you put your finger on it and you move it right and left to get the amount. Okay, Evan, this is an interesting discussion. It's not just something you do, it just happens with Kriya Yoga. Okay, and I can believe that, yeah. I know that just my experience with meditation is, I've shared, I think, before, I lose all sense of consciousness. Now, if you were tracking me and how much I'm breathing, I have no idea. Because when I'm meditating, not every time, but a lot of times, it's like I completely black out. I have no memory, and I open my eyes and it's been 30 minutes or an hour later. So I understand what you're saying is a possibility. I'm just not familiar with it personally. Well, thank you, Spider. I appreciate that. I'm sending you blessings on your way. Thank you. Good evening, RC or Miley. Y'all, excuse me. I'm on last call for reading, Smiley. You have to book it like right now. Yeah, it can be. It can be better than sleep. That's right. Meditation we're talking about. There's a link at the top of the description box, Miley. It's a PayPal link. It's pinned at the top of the chat or in the description. Well, what have you got planned this week, y'all? Michelle, what are you doing this week? Working? Working, bless your heart. Working. Don't know. Do I have any special plans this week? What's the date? YouTube. And then I think, oh yeah, I got Symphony Friday night. I think that's this Friday night again. Yay. Just work it. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Break for Halloween. You get a break. Hallelujah. Okay, I gotcha. Interesting. It's not coming through here. I got the email, but I didn't. Oh, that's I'm looking at a different thing. Awesome, Brenda. Got your message. I will contact you soon. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. Mondays are my really busy day. Hang on one second here. Let me catch up with y'all now. Just working them off for a break. I'm so glad you get a week off. Oh, Molly, thank you. Thank you for that donation. You're so sweet. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. I didn't see, well, oh, I see. You paid, I'm confused because I'm talking to so many people. Miley, if you're paying Super Chat for a reading, it's, well, $20 or $19.99. Usually the bar won't let you go. It's kind of stops at $19.99. So you're missing a zero on that. Okay, Allison, I love that. I like it when y'all give me your actually. Manuel, I don't talk about politics here and those kind of world events because everybody has an opinion. Okay, I got you, Miley. Yes, it worked. It worked. I see it. Go ahead and type your question in the chat. Okay, wait a minute. We got another one here. Okay, I thought you were. Okay, hang on a minute. What to make of it? One second here. Okay. What I may do, what to make of it, because Allison was first. If the comments keep scrolling, I may need you to repeat your question for me a little later. So I'm going to do hers first. So Allison, I'm waiting for your, it did work. I'm waiting for your question now. You beat her by about 30 seconds there. And if you put a question, I don't see it. I'm not see you didn't get it into the Manuel, I'm not sure I understand. Oh, I see it now. Hang on a minute. If you mean medium, yes, I'm a medium, Manuel. How do you, okay, let me focus here. How do you see my life right now? All over. I feel all over the place, emotionally, always high and low. Let me see about you. And you said it's okay to use your name, Allison. Okay. Allison, do you live in like a condo, an apartment complex, something like that? That do you have multiple stories where you live? Three-story townhouse. Okay, thank you. And your bedroom's on the upper level or one of the upper levels. Yeah, upper level. Third floor, yeah. Because I think you've got part of this, you need to clear the energy in your room, in your bedroom where you're sleeping. You haven't been there that long, right? You've been there what? A year maybe? Something like that? How long have you been there? I'm hearing year and a half? How long have you been there? A year. Okay. I always worry that it's going to freak somebody out when I ask this question. Did a little lady live there before you? Do you know? I'm waiting on her to answer. Okay. Molly's, Allison saying, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you're referring to my husband's great grandmother who her energy is here with us. He has a picture of her with the candle also. Oh, that is so sweet. Yes, it could be that, but it feels like that. I don't think that's what this is. I think that what I'm feeling is the good evening, Eduardo. This feels more like residual energy. When I get it like this, it's typically like, okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit. And you might want to go and watch the live again. Friday night, we talked about a lot of different things, and this is one of the things we talked about. Just, oh, Artie, hey, okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the super chat, Artie. So we leave an energy residue wherever we go. Now, depending on what we're going through in life, that can be really good energy or it can be depressive energy. So I'm simplifying what I'm addressing here with you, because it feels like in your bedroom there is an energy residue that is affecting you, especially when you sleep. Because think about it, you spend 8 or 10 hours there, or however long you sleep. Excuse me. I feel like I'm getting hiccups again. I do this. Sorry, guys. Molly's saying, I can never sleep at night. Yes. Well, there's a reason. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to get rid of the cups. I know. I know. Oh, you got everybody fed, Jake? All right, let me take some deep breaths here and see if I can get these gone. Okay, maybe that'll help. Okay, Allison, you might need some house clearing. I mean, and I do that, and I'm not trying to sell you something here. I'm just saying I'm feeling there's more to this than simply, than one thing. You got a couple of things going on in this bedroom where you're sleeping, and it's a big cause of what you're feeling. You probably also have either a water line, a disturbance line, earth energy line. There's all these different lines of different kinds of energy that can flow under the ground. And it doesn't matter what level you're on in your house, it affects you. But in particular, if it's like running under your bed where you're sleeping, it can really affect you. And over time, it gets worse and worse. So it really feels like you got a couple of things going on there. So, well, it's similar to a ley line. I don't think this is a ley line, but it is similar to that in that they are energy lines, but they're caused by different things. And I can't go into all of them. There's like 37. I mean, on my list right now, when I clear a house, it's like 37, 38, 39 different things that I look for. But it feels like you've got something like that going on. Is there any way you can move your bed to a different wall? That might help that situation. I would also say for you, okay, I'd have to look at this deeper, but you sit in a particular chair in your living room where, like, when you're watching TV and all, is that chair like underneath where you sleep on your bed? You're saying we just moved it recently when we took out my daughter's bassinet from the room. Well, I'm just be mindful of that if the chair is where you sleep, and that's an end, because energy, if it's running under the house, it affects all the way up, even 10 stories, some depending on what kind of line it is, energy line. I can test for how far literally how many feet it is. Guys, these are paid readings tonight. So you're saying the couch is underneath it in your room. Okay. Well, I know you can't necessarily, I feel like you can't really move your couch. My feeling is that your couch is kind of in a spot where it needs to be. In other words, you don't have a great big option about where, like, moving, like, I live in a small townhome. There isn't a big option about where to put the bed, or even the sofa for that matter. I can't do this clearing for you right now. And it would be something, we'd have to do a private session for that. But what I can do is, if I were you, I would try to sleep. If you can move the bed, that would be the more important thing, because you spend more time there. I definitely try to do that. Okay, good. You can move it. Awesome. You have a wonderful husband who is balanced all the time, and I swear he's going to get sick of me. I'm always moody and on the edge. Oh, bless your heart. Well, I don't think that's the only thing, but I think those two are big deals. Sorry, I forgot to mute my device here from earlier. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, those are the two big ones. I'm just feeling that pretty strongly for you. So if you can move the bed, that's I think going to make a huge difference. And come back and let me know that. I'd really love to know if that helps. Now it takes a little while. Don't expect it to kick in overnight, but sometimes it can. It's not normal though. Well, it depends. Like if you move the bed, Allison, and then you said, well, I really want to sleep on that side of the bed. Where is the energy? If you're looking at the footprint of your, let me just say this. It depends. When I do a house clearing, it takes me almost 2 weeks sometimes to do one because there's so much detail. If it's a water vein, for example, that goes underneath your house, I'm just giving this as an example to answer your question. Hey, Crow, how are you, darling? Okay, Crow has an S. Okay. So each depending on what it is, depending on where it came from, where it originated from, where it travels underneath, it picks up energy along the way. This is a simple explanation. And I test every one of those when I do a house clearing to how detrimental is it to the occupants of this home. And so depending and how far does it extend. So if you have something that has negative energy and it's very negative and the energy is expanding 20 feet beyond the center line of this thing, it's probably not going to matter even if you move your bed because you're still being impacted by the energy. Can you see what I'm saying? I really am not sure how to explain that better. That's the quick, short version. So it's just something quick and to try. You might could try burning some incense in the room. Try that. See if that helps to shift the energy. I'm just checking in. Oh no, Crow, I'm so sorry you're hurting still. Molly saying I have Palo Santo and sage. Should I do it once a week? I would do it every day for the next week. Can't hurt. Can't hurt. I would do it every day. Hang on a minute. Let me get rid of this jerko. Thank you, Jay. You beat me to it. That's really all I can tell you to do right now because I just can't. I can't do it from here with in the middle of what I'm doing here for you. I'm asking if there's anything else for you. So you might try just to experiment sleeping in a different room that's further away from like where you normally sleep, as far away as you can get. Again, bearing in mind, if you just have the footprint of the house and your sofa's here and your bed is here, and the other room is, you have to get as far away from that just to try it and see if that helps. All right, I'm just Also, Allison. I'm really struggling here because I know the answer, but I don't want to open a can of worms out here on YouTube. You have something else in your energy. It's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not trying to spook you. It's just like you picked up a little something, out there in the world. It happens all the time. It's not a big deal. Um, again, it's kind of like this is here. I'm making myself a note for you. I'll see if I can clear this for you when I get off tonight. I can't promise because, usually I have to do a little bit more digging. But you picked up a little something, something, and it's affecting your mood. I just realized I'm not keeping up with the chat here. Well, Jake, I just appreciate you being here. No, Artie, I've got one before you. I'm doing Allison. I have another one, and then your third. Well, Crow, you could do that, but it's not good to have mirrors in the bedroom, and I think that's the real problem is she's sleeping in energy where that's affecting her every night. Yes, it's a kind of entity, but not what you're thinking. So that's why I don't want to open that can of worms. There's all kinds of attachments you can have. Ah, well, thank God. See, I'm here. I'm worried and struggling with telling you that, and you already know. I love that. I love that. Well, thank you for making it easy. And see, I should never doubt my team. My team, just spit it out. Just spit it out. Yeah, yeah. You've got an attachment. It's like a troubled energy. It's very troubled and irritated, and so the fact that it's attached to you, you're picking up on that. That'll be $1,000, please. Put that in my tip jar. Oh, thank you, Crow. Love you for doing that. Yeah, it's just, it's, thank you, Crow. Any energy here is appreciated. Crow's also an energy worker, and among other things. Let me just, yes, Artie, meditation's good for anything, any and everything. What'd you get for showing up late? Well, you're busy taking care of you and other people. I forgive you. I'm just trying to catch up here with the chat. Hang on a minute, y'all. Bear with me. I do not think it was put on you. No, I do not feel that way. I think that you just picked it up because sometimes it can happen in just places you go. Places you go. You would not believe things that hang out in places, especially like bars and places that have been there a long time. All kinds of. I'm not picking on bars. I mean, I'll go have a drink sometimes too, but it's just they like your energy for whatever reason, and yeah. So you got something attached to you, and I'm glad you're and hospitals. That's right. Hospitals are another real big one. Ooh, yes. Hospitals are worse than cemeteries. Yep, we have a tag along. Yes, we do, Crow. I like that term. Can I borrow that? Because I don't like to call them entities, and because there's not always an entity. An entity to me is somebody who lived in this 3D world as a human being. That is not always the definition. Most people think it is, but that's so a tag along. Yeah. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Claire. Well, Allison, I'm going to do my best to do, and I don't do that. Believe me, I don't do this for $20 for people, okay? But I'm going to do it for you tonight. When I get off here, I'm going to do my best. Now, I can't make any promises. I make a list of a to-do list, like when I get off the lives and little loose ends like this that I can do for people. I just don't want the world to know that I'm doing that, because everybody in their second and third and 12th cousin is going to come in here asking me stuff that, and I just can't give everything away. I can't, but I'm going to do that for you. And if you don't feel better, come back, or contact me. My email's in the description box, and we'll have to dive deeper. That's really about all I can do with it from here tonight. I know you feel down. Yeah, I can feel that. Jake, yes, thank you. Okay, okay. Yeah, I love that, Evan. It's better than you think it is. Keep your head up. Yeah, it's nothing scary. It's nothing that's particularly malevolent. It's just the nature of what it is. It is, yeah, it's the nature of what it is. Oh God, you do, you so do, Allison, you so do, yes. And God bless you for doing that job. God bless you. So I will work on that for you later, or it might be tomorrow. But do the clearing, do all that you can do too. And then we'll just see how you feel. Come back. I'm usually here, like I said, twice a week. Come report back to me or shoot me an email or something. Excuse me. Don't, I know that wasn't the reading you might have looked for, but that's what I'm feeling is going on with you. I don't think tarot cards are going to answer that. Crow, God, you're hysterical and you always have the best explanations. It's perfect. Crow says, yeah, it's like getting toilet paper stuck to the bottom of your shoe. That's so true. It's there to annoy you, but it can be gotten rid of. I love that. Oh, perfect. Perfect, Allison. Well, I do hope that helps, honey. And like I said, I'll do a little something later when I get off here, or tomorrow when I can, when I can. I do hope that helps. Oh, I love your attitude, Allison. That's awesome. No, I'll take anything I can get, good and bad. Thank you. Okay, okay. Now, thank you. Hey, Alex, good evening. All right, I gotta make myself a gold star there, or whatever color pen I'm writing with. All right, what to make of it? Now, let's get your can you retype your question, please? Because it's so far up in the chat, I'm not sure I can go there. Crow, I got 2 readings to do before I get to your general question. What to make of it says, I really thought I was going to be in a relationship with Jonathan in this lifetime. Is it really over? Well, that depends on what timeline you're choosing. It's the truth of it. I am not making that up. And by the way, I do not predict the future. Tarot does not predict the future. These are just a tool. And this tells you where you are currently heading, the trajectory you're on, if you don't do anything differently. This is just picking up on a potential. I want to be clear about that with you, because you're asking me this yes or no question. Is this going to happen? It's not determined. You're the determiner of your future. So I want to be clear about that. So, oh, Michael, you're a fellow 1111. Awesome. Happy belated birthday. So I am going to ask, but I want you to understand, if you understand about law of attraction, if you don't understand, go and educate yourself about that. It's called jumping timelines, law of attraction, law of manifestation, law of assumption. It's all basically the same thing. You have to change your point of attraction. You have to change your frequency to get a different result. Otherwise, you're just going to keep going on this path. So that said, I'm trying to go back here. One second. Jonathan, I couldn't remember. That's what I was looking for, his name. Okay. So, given the current trajectory, what is the likely outcome with Jonathan and what to make of it? Will they reunite? Well, there is love there. That's a split. I know you're not going to want this answer, but universe is saying undecided. Because somebody needs to apologize. It's not apologizing right now. Now, again, please go and educate yourself about the power that you have to change this outcome. I love that tarot gave me this. It's saying there is potential for love. Absolutely. But somebody here is at a crossroads. This means undecided based on the question I asked. So you have the power to change the outcome here. Somebody is holding back their feelings. There are things that are hidden. Somebody here is afraid of commitment, probably. So they think it's easier to go and start something else. They'll be happier somewhere else than commit. Is that the issue? Is that kind of the issue that was going on in your relationship? Because that was a yes-no question. But I try to give people more than that. Yeah, one of you wants to make a commitment here. And the other one wants to still play around a little bit. Not quite. That's why I don't like doing yes or no. I really don't. It's never a simple yes or no. Here's the thing, and I'm still pulling cards for you. What is the potential here for Jonathan? And yeah, nothing's happening right now. This does not look good, but then clearly there's nothing happening, no forward movement, nobody's nurturing this. Somebody here is saying, I don't see any fertility, the potential for future expansion here. And I've really been overthinking this, but I'm getting more clarity that clearly that there's been an injustice here, or things are not balanced in this relationship. Because somebody here is unhappy. Now, this is a different kind of happiness. This is not personal happiness. This is like unhappiness in the home, family, bigger picture. And yeah, y'all broke up here apparently. And I'm not saying that because I have the breakup cards. I'm saying that because it looks like the tower moment was caused because somebody wanted their independence here. Or somebody wants to be independent and the other one's not happy with that. I keep coming back to the same kind of message here. Let me see. Hang on. It's hard to phrase it different. You're thinking, this is you then. You're thinking of moving on. Exactly. You're thinking of moving on. Is he in player mode? He doesn't care. Well, this is a one question reading and you're already at like 3 or 4. So we need to change this is about you. Right now, I'd have to say it's a no, but that's a different question. Y'all need to know when you ask a question to a tarot reader, what you want to know is, how does he feel about me? That's really what you want to know, right? See, does he care? Does he, I can't, of course that's what you want to know. That's what I want to know. How does he feel about you? Ooh, ooh. God, tarot's amazing. You saw me shuffling these cards, didn't you? You saw me shuffling and look what came back. The very same cards. Excuse me. He feels like it's over. He feels like he feels a sense of betrayal. Somebody here might have ghosted somebody, or he could just be pulling back saying, well, you don't want anything to do with me. You put all these swords in my back, or whoever did what to whom, and I'm just going to be quiet over here. Clearly you don't want me. I'm just going to be quiet over here. That's how he's feeling. You asked me how he's feeling. This is how he's feeling. But the fact that it's in reverse means I'm really resisting this ending. I'm really having a hard time getting over it. But I'm just going to sit over here in my quiet, in my cave, because apparently you want your independence. Remember this Tower card? And it's caused upheaval and unhappy. I mean, these cards are just repeating. It's the same cards. Let me get a couple more here. You're saying yes, and I just know my first question was troubles. Well, people don't know, sweetie. It's okay. People don't know. And it's hard. I didn't know how important that was till I started reading tarot. Why would you know that? Yeah. It's just that it's like one question leads to another. One question begs another question. It's hard to narrow it down to just one question. I do get that. What else can you tell me about how he feels about, how Jonathan feels about what to make of it? Your screen is lagging. Jake said his was lagging too. Sometimes if you're far away, literally physically far away, it lags. Well, interesting. I have all these cards down here, and I have no. Well, I'll change that. I do have cups. Stars say I have no cups, which talks about emotions and feelings. I do, but sadly, it's in the reverse. All right, so we talked about him pulling away, not talking. I suspect you're not talking. I think he's feeling like there's no point in me fighting for this anymore. This is giving up. There's no point in me stating my case anymore, standing my ground anymore. Y'all, excuse me. The Five of Swords is winning at all cost, ego, pride, self-sabotage. Now, in the reverse, which this is, it can talk about somebody wanting to make amends for that. They're seeing the error of their ways. I realize now what I did here. I realize I sabotaged this. They're at least awakened to that. I realize I messed this up. I realize I spilled this cup of love here. And now all I'm getting is the cold steel of this sword here. Yeah. And this King of Swords is, he can be, well, cold, obviously, but I'm just seeing what it is. I think he thinks this is more about how he feels you are than him. Yeah, he feels some of this too, but I think this is, he thinks you feel that way. So cold and withdrawn, and like, yeah, there needs to be a change, but somebody here is resisting change. And since you tell me what you did, I feel like it's probably you. I mean, he misses you. He has very fond memories of you. This is the card of nostalgia. But he's saying somebody here made a bad choice. Somebody made a bad choice. This is the Lovers in reverse. It's a breakup. Somebody here there might have been deception, and somebody now is thinking, or might have tried to make a strategy and it went wrong. And he's saying, but I've learned my lesson here. I've learned that, that's the student card. And the lesson is, I guess I shouldn't invest here. I guess I should not put any more time or energy in here, because apparently I'm being released, or I need to release. There's somebody here needs to release something that's toxic. Let me see your comments here. $500 miles. Yeah, Crow. That's right. That's what it feels like. So I'd have to say right now, he's feeling, it's over. And this cup of love is spilled. I don't know how simpler to say it. Now, can you fix it? Again, law of manifestation, law of attraction, get busy. You can shift the timeline. Of course you could, but that's a whole other reading. If I pulled cards on that, we'll be here all night. But I'm just saying, if you don't care about this person, you're not going to be here asking for a tarot reading. So I think you do care about him. The question is, that would be like a whole reading for you. Like, what do I do to, what's in my best interest to move forward and all that. But in terms of how he feels about you, I think he feels it's over and done. Well, I hope that helps, sweetie. I just feel the sense of frustration when I tune into his energy. Like, there's no point in me trying. That's kind of what I'm feeling when I sit with that. He feels like your mind is made up, or you're determined to go whatever direction you're pointed right now. Is what I'm feeling. All righty. Again, if you want something different, tell a different story. Tell a different story. If you want a different outcome, you can't keep telling the same story. So that's on you. I mean, that's up to you, not on you. It's up to you if you want this person or not, of course. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to Artie. And Artie, would you post your question, please? And then Crow, I know you you want to ask a general question. So Artie, post your question for me again, please. And thank you. Crow, what's your general question? Guys, I cannot possibly answer all the questions and address everybody in the comments. I hope you don't take that personally. It's not meant personally, but I have thousands of people that come through this, and I can't do a reading and then greet every single person that comes through the chat. So please understand, it's not personal. I appreciate each and every one of you who stops in and says hello. Well, what to make of it? I just feel like there's a part of you that wants to keep going with this person. That's the dilemma, and I feel that. I feel that. So again, not really, but okay, one day at a time, I guess. Well, that's a back and forth, all right? You're saying you don't know. I'm just, yeah, you don't know. You're torn. And no judgment. It is what it is. However, Jake, I love that you picked up on that. Thank you. Because it's never really yes or no. It's always, but, yeah, especially, exactly. So I'm still waiting for Artie. Artie, are you here? Please come and tell me your question again. Maybe I can go back. Y'all do need to be here in the chat to get this reading. I don't do this and then, unless y'all are here. See, it won't let me scroll back, but so far, and then it just stops. So I don't know if I can get it again. Or maybe you didn't. Was that just a donation or a, maybe it was, see, that's as far as I can go back. Ah, there you go. I see you. There we go. Thank you. Let me see what Crow says. I've been seeing twins a lot. Example, Anna will be sleeping but see her next to the front door, or my cat in two places, even if physically somewhere else. Does this mean something esoteric? Probably yes. Yes. Not probably, yes. You're shifting timelines. And that's a whole quantum thing. So, Artie, I'm going to come to your question here. I want to answer this because this is a Crow has great questions. It's happened 7 times. All right, 1 second here. Let me. Your fake nails make your time. They must be long nails. I know. I used to have them eons ago. How does he feel about me? Okay. I'm going to answer Crow's question first, Artie, because I am. Crow's one of my regulars here, and he asks very interesting questions that a lot of people, I think, enjoy hearing about. Okay, so, and by the way, please hit that like button, guys, if you're enjoying all this conversation about interesting woo-woo stuff. So, according to some, we are constantly shifting timelines. You could substitute the word realities. In fact, I've heard as many as billions of times a second. In other words, we're choosing which reality we're living in based on our thoughts, our actions, and all of that every moment of every day. So when you're shifting, though, you're kind of got a foot in both ways. A foot in both. In other words, it's a little bit of a lack of synchronicity between, like, which one do you really want? And they're so similar. It's like the Matrix glitch, isn't it? That's what I'm seeing for you when I tune into that question, Crow. Don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Matrix glitch. Remember when he saw the thing and it was just a little kind of glitch? Yes. So it feels to me like it's nothing to worry about. The shift is within you, because your frequency is like, it's not quite there wholly, WHOLLY, in the new timeline, so it keeps going back and forth. I don't think there's anything to worry about. You're not going to split and go into 2 worlds. You're fine. You might want to just work on more positive thinking. I think your vibration has slipped because you haven't felt well lately. That's a part of this for you, Crow. What to make of it? Well, no worry on my part. I feel more concerned about you being satisfied with your reading. So I'm here 2 nights a week, typically doing readings. So if you want to come back, we can take another stab at that. I know I could see your nails already were sharp. I could see it in my mind's eye. Hey Crow, are you resonating? Can you kind of feel what I'm explaining here? So in other words, your frequency is shifting, but you're not maintaining one or the other. It's just like a glitch in the matrix. Okay, let's see. Then I will say thank you, because I know what is happening, and some of it is because you have, well, helped me remember I am intuitive. Well, awesome. Well, here, let me. Well, thank you, Crow. I don't know if I am responsible for that or not, but yes, you are very intuitive, and do some things that you know can raise your vibration, and I think it will stop happening, unless you want it to not. But I don't think you're going to be happy if it keeps happening. It's draining on your energy. You need to be in one place or the other. Crow, also ask your angels to help you with this. Ask your angels. I'm hearing that loudly for you. Yeah. Ask them for help. That makes perfect sense, Crow. Yep, you're transitioning. That's the bottom line. It's a transition. You're just not able to stay in that other frequency yet. Yes, yes. I can believe that. Mm-hmm. Well, Maria, thank you. I didn't even know anybody really reads my rules, but thank you. Thank you. Okay, Crow, I hope that helps. Brother, I hope it's okay to call you that. I feel like that. Now, let's get to Artie's reading. Thank you for your patience, Artie. I appreciate you so much. How does he feel about you? Let's ask Tarot that question. How does he feel about you? How does he? Crow, you are very welcome. And I think everybody always, well, not everybody, because not everybody might want to know, but I think they appreciate very much when we get to talk about some of those things. It's very, I talked earlier about there is a change in the energy on the planet. There just is. And for those of us who are in the more sensitive camp, it can be affecting us even more, because we're really, some of we're having to leave this place that's the only thing we know and our vibration, and we understand it, and we got to reach over here and grab onto something that we don't know yet. And it's not a judgment. It's neither. It's just that I'm not sure how to. It's someplace we've never been, and so it's a bit of a struggle. Anyway, let me see. Let me get back to this. Artie's saying, I was really honest and went nuclear on our last emails, and I didn't think that he would forgive me and my frustration with him and his family. Ooh. And he hasn't talked to me since 2021. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, sweetie. Well, all right. Well, let's see. We're going to ask, how does he feel about you? That he would not forgive you. Well, okay, go back and replay, because that's old news. And I believe, guys, I am loving the, thank you, whoever's doing those little, I don't even know how to do that. That is so cool. I've been seeing this all night. I got to figure that out. Thank you to whoever's gifting and doing all those fun things. Okay, let's see. And you dream of him all the time. Oh, Evan, you're so sweet. Thank you. That's what that was. Okay, cool. Peace be with you too. Well, thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. I'll be back. I'm here a couple nights a week typically. And you can always get a private reading. That info is in the description box. All right, we're asking for Artie here. And I know that's, I've shortened your name, but Spirit knows. How does he feel about you? Yeah, guys, I'm closing the readings for tonight, but I will be back. Thank you. You have a nice morning too. It's evening here, but this deck does not seem to want to talk. Okay, clearly not that one. I think we'll try the little light seer deck. Using all my decks tonight. Okay, how does Artie's person feel about Artie? I don't think he wants to say. Curious, probably. Just curious about how you're doing. Not emotionally available. He either that's him or he thinks that's how you are toward him. But looks like I do love you, my bird brother. You know what this is, don't you? I don't have a crow feather. I should get one here. Okay, I'm going to ask Spirit to give me a crow feather. Have I ever shown you these crows? Y'all know I have ADD, right? So I'm all over the place. I'm coming back to your reading, Artie. Crow, I don't think I've ever shown you all my collection here. These were my brothers. So I've got eagles and hawk, red-tailed hawk. I've got barred owl. I think this is a hawk also. And I'm not even sure what these are. They're blue. And I know they were my brother, all of these. But anyway. So I'm going to ask Spirit to give me a crow or a raven one. You love eagles. Yes. I know, Emily. I don't know how to send those gifty things either. I think you have to purchase, like, I don't know, a certain amount of money, and then you can give them out as you go. But I don't know how they end up. I don't know. I have to do a little homework on that. He thinks about you fondly. He does think about you. You know, I will say that. I'll give him that. But honestly, Artie, he thinks that this relationship was a missed opportunity. Somebody here, probably you, I don't know who did what, has put up a wall. You did tell me, you did give me a little backstory, but is feeling very defensive. And here's that Five of Swords I talked about earlier too, that talks about self-sabotage, winning at all costs. Like I think that was something you mentioned might have happened. Thank you, Uriel. Yes, they're all around here. I just have to ask Spirit to gift me one. And they're wonderful messengers. Anything else you can tell me about how this person feels about Artie? Oh, no. His mom ripped you apart because she hates me. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's the worst when family gets in it. Just leave the people alone. Oh, thank you, Maria. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet tonight. Thank you so much. Aw, Crow. They are. To include the two-legged versions that I know is you. Oh, I love them. Yes. Sometime I'll tell you a story about that and me. I had a whole gaggle of them try to tell me about a person, and I didn't see it at the time, and they were so right. They were trying to warn me. Okay. Hey, Desert Rose, I have closed out readings for tonight, but please come back on another night, and we can do a reading for you. I do charge for them, or you can purchase a private reading, or just send me an email, and I'll send you the information for that. Well, Artie, you know what you can do? You don't need to be in his presence for that. I think one of the best things you can do when you feel that way is to write a letter. Don't send it, but write a letter. Pour your heart out in that letter. You know, have a good cry over it, whatever you need to do to kind of get it out. And then maybe if you don't have a fireplace or whatever, go outside and burn it and say, and send it up into the ethers and ask spirit to deliver that message to your person. Because that helps to lift it from your heart, and it can send them. I mean, that's a powerful ritual. It is a ritual. I wasn't going to frame it that way, but it is. Thank you, Crow. I appreciate you saying that. Already saying, okay, I really miss his soul. We were best friends and soulmates. Aww. Hey, greatest. Good evening. Well, of course. I mean, you're hurting too. It takes two here. You're hurting too. You know, it doesn't matter who's, well, I mean, it matters who's right or wrong, but we learn. We all mess up as human beings, and that's how we learn not to do that again or whatever. So I'm not judging. I know that you cared about this person and you wish it could have been different. I can say this is the card of thinking back on fondly, like remembering the good times. This is the card of nostalgia. So I would say yes to your question there. Does he think of you? Yes. And it's in the upright. So that means fondly thinks of you. Well, nobody can compete with a mama, especially if she's trying to get in the middle. I know that's hard. Oh, goodness. Anything else? I think we pretty much captured it. It seems like nothing else wants to come out here, Artie. Oh, honey, I didn't mean to make you cry. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. I mean, it's just... See, that's why I think if you write this letter, it would be very cathartic for you, because you still have a lot of feelings about this, and guilt and love and all the things all mixed in there like this big old pot of soup, and you need to get it out. You know, I would really write this letter. Yep. Yep. There it is. There's the betrayal, that trying to get, and the broken heart. But this is in the past because it's in the reverse. That means everybody's healing, you and him both. And this is saying, well, like you want to make amends. You want to make amends, maybe not by showing up at his door, but I think writing the letter would be there, and burning it would be very therapeutic, because you're still holding on to him. That's what that card means, holding on. You know, in your heart, you can't, and I think this is him too. I know it wasn't going to go the distance, but still, yeah. That's the 10 of Wands. That's the end, laying the burden down. So that's what Spirit's advising you to do here. You were going to mail him a card. Well, I don't think there'd be any harm here. I don't see like he's still angry at you, any cards like that. No, he just feels like it's a missed opportunity. And, you know, like I said, he thinks fondly, but he's still hurt and feels like there was a sense of betrayal here. That doesn't mean time doesn't heal that. I would definitely write a letter and burn it first. And again, do the ritual. Ask Spirit to send that message to him before you send him the card, if you're going to do that. Let some time, give some time for that message to get to him. Well, you don't have to, but I think it's going to be hard to attract a healthy relationship in your life, as long as he's still in your energy this strongly. So it's in your best interest to get over him. And I know it's not easy. I know it's not. It's always easier said than done, but it's in your best interest. So one of the ways is to start telling, oh, excuse me. Start telling yourself you're lovable. And what Crow said, forgive yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Maria. Well, I hope to see you soon too. And Artie, I'm thankful. That's so sweet. Yeah, I just feel like I just have a real strong sense that if you do this letter writing ritual, it will really shift the energy for you. It'll kind of help you let go. And you can also do things like a cord cutting ceremony. You can Google that online. That's not a complicated, but it is kind of a ritual, and it does, and it's an energy thing, because remember, everything is energy. So I really think if you do those two things, I think you'll feel a shift in your energy already that will help. Andrea, I'm squinting because I don't have my glasses on. My readings are closed for tonight, but you will find love if you believe you will find love. It's all about what you believe, guys. You got to tell the story like you want it to be. That's all about law of attraction. Oh, wow. That's so awesome, Crow. That is awesome. Oh, I'm loving that. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't see it. You know, it's so teeny tiny. I can hardly read the numbers up there. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm tempted to stay here till we get 100. I'm tempted. I'm very tempted. You could tempt me, but then I'd have to answer another general esoteric or mystical question for you guys. Mystical's not the right word. I'm not a witch. I don't do mystical, but although I had a ex that, no, I won't say. I'm kidding. Look at that, guys. Almost there. Come on, y'all. Hit that like button. Oh, already saying, I have cut his cord. Awesome. And it regrows on me, and I dream of him and I wake up. Well, let's be clear. I have to bust you on that a little bit. Because if you're continuing to think about him, you're the one that's connecting the cord again. So doing a cut cording ceremony means you have to change something. It's not just, here, let me cut it and then keep doing the same thing. No, you have to make a change within you. That's part of what shifts energy. Oh, thank you for that heart. So let's take a little bit more action this time in terms of really trying to walk away energetically, emotionally, all the ways, because it's not, I mean, you're choosing to think about him. You got to choose something different. Oh, Crow, you give her a hug from me, okay? You tell Kitten hello from me. Oh my goodness, look at y'all. You're up to 90 already. I love that. You think of him when you dream of him. Well, I don't really want to open up a second Pandora's box for tonight, but I will allude to this. Artie, it could be this is a twin flame relationship for you, and that is the hardest relationship on the planet, in my humble opinion, because you are connected. You can't cut a cord. You can't cut a cord in a twin flame relationship. Well, there are people who say you can, but I don't happen to believe that, because it's the other half of you. that's one of the explanations for, and the one that I personally embrace about twin flames. It's you experiencing an incarnation in the same timeline. So it's like meeting yourself. And those are very, very different. Y'all are killing me with these hearts and happy poop. What? uh, guys, if you want to connect with me privately, my email is in the description box. You can reach out there. Your meds are setting in, so I'll bid you adieu. Until we meet in Valhalla. Yes, in Valhalla. Amen. Amen. Yes. First round is on Jake. I agree. We should make Jake buy the first round. Artie saying, and he was the only person that I've ever loved. Oh no, sweetie. Oh. Well, I'm sending you a big hug. That's really, really sad. Christy says, I'm excited that you're excited you're talking about twin flames. Well, it's tough. I mean, really, it's very, very different than other relationships. And I'm 74, and I met my twin, well, let's say 4.5 years ago. So I've been married more than once. I've had a lot of relationships. I can say this with a lot of experience. I'm not just saying this from a 25-year-old's perspective. No offense to you young people, but it is a very different relationship. and Artie, I can understand that. The physical connection between twins is, again, it's off the charts. It's hard. You can't really, I mean, think about, again, you're connecting with you effectively. So yeah, it's very difficult. I'm sorry. Siri. So Christy, did you have a question that I might can help with regarding twin flames? Not that I'm an expert, but oops, wait a minute. I don't want to hide anybody. Oh, thank you, Artie. That's sweet. I appreciate that. I do think meditation makes a difference in how you age. So just saying, guys, it makes a huge difference if you do it regularly and consistently and for a long time. So that's my little speech about that. Okay. Oh, Artie, that's too, thank you. That's too generous, but thank you for the thought. That's sweet. Nope, no pageants. No pageants. Not what am I saying? Christy saying they are very difficult, but so extremely, yes, intense. Like, how do you even describe that to? There's really, words are not adequate to describe the difference in the intensity of a twin flame relationship than others. And it's not, and most people think that, oh, the twin flame relationship, how romantic. Believe me, I mean, yeah, there's all that, but it's not typically, no, I don't know if I should say typically. Often it's not even about union. The lesson, the reason you came here and incarnated at the same time was to help each other heal, to heal your inner wounds, whatever that is for each of you individually. And so that's why there's a lot of push and pull. I mean, you get triggered, they get triggered. So the fastest way to get down this path with a twin flame relationship is to focus on your own healing, to focus on loving yourself, to focus on filling your own cup, and healing all of your wounds, and not worrying about what they're doing. In fact, that's counterproductive. Anyway, spiritual growth. Yep, that's the bottom line. Spiritual growth. That's what it's for. Well, and often I hear that it's other people, it is about spiritual growth, but when the twin flame partners come into union, it's often because they have a greater purpose. In other words, there's something that they're meant to do together once they come into union, if they come into union. So um, I don't think mine's going to happen, so I don't know that I can address that. That's where I am right now with mine. Oh, Artie, yeah, he was that first person who I trusted because I don't like men at all. But thanks for sharing. Well, you're welcome. You know, some other people, like Christy, had commented about the twin flame. Thank you so much, Art. I don't have my glasses on, Arden. I can't quite make that out, but I'm wishing you happy moments as well. Thank you. Yeah, and it does make sense. All right, my beautiful people. Well, that's it for me tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I'll go live again sometime this week. Be sure you've got your notifications turned on and you're subscribed, because I post in my comment section. Typically, I did not post for tonight, but I did announce it earlier that I would be going in my comment. Yes, I did. I just didn't say what time. I did. I take that back. But I do generally post a comment. I'm most of the time here on Sunday nights, and then usually Wednesday, Friday, something like that. So be sure you have your notifications turned on and you're checking the post, because I'll let you know there. Okay, good people. I wish you a very good evening too. Thank you, Artie. Appreciate you, everybody who bought a reading, and especially to my wonderful moderators. Jake, I'm sending you a big, big hug, Mr. Jacob. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you to everybody, and I'll see you guys soon. Mwah.